Hey there, thanks for watching. This is Well Behaved Wallet, where we talk about mindset, motivation, and making or saving money. Today's video is going to be a Frugal for Your Future Friday, where I talk about things I've done throughout the work week and the previous weekend to save money and love the life I have right now with using just the things that I have at hand that did not require any money and actually saved me money. I'm also going to put one thing in at the end where I talk about something that I did spend money on that was totally worth it. Now, this will totally fit into my personal miscellaneous spending money category in my budget, but it's just something I did that was like, it's kind of how I spent my personal money. And it also added to my enjoyment of life. So that's a one requirement, is that I enjoy life with this purchase. So here are the 5 things that I did throughout the week that saved me money, and a total of how much they saved me. So stay tuned till the end to find out a total of how much I saved this week. So number 1, and this is just something I check in on, it's become part of my routine and I really like it. And that is that I packed lunch 3 days a week. Let me say I enjoy the savings that it saves me. And I've also come to really enjoy the process of meal planning. Honestly, my goal is to, A, that it be somewhat nutritious, and B, that it be quick. Like, I don't spend more than 20 minutes prepping my meals, and that might be a little extreme, and it might lead to some, shall we call them more utilitarian options than maybe gourmet. I mean, it's not gourmet by any standards, but it is very frugal and it fits within my budget. I know that it's easy to spend upwards of like $15 on a single lunch, and there's some people that do that every day. That's not something that I do, and it's something that I actually consider a savings because it would be real easy for me to do that. So I packed lunch 3 days a week. One day I did end up going out to lunch with a colleague to celebrate her last day that was planned for, and then the 5th day of the week our company orders us lunch in. So for those 3 days that I did pack my lunch, I have a total savings of $45. And again, when I do my meal prep, it does not take me on a Sunday night any longer than 30 minutes. That's my goal, is to have it take less than 30 minutes to prep all my meals for the week, because time is money. I firmly believe that. Money is money, but time is also valuable. So that's the number 1 thing I did to save money this week. Number 2, when that coworker that I mentioned was announced her last day, and I was like, that we should celebrate that. I suggested an inexpensive fast casual restaurant as opposed to like a sit-down restaurant, which we've done in the past. The important thing was to celebrate her and the relationship that we have with her and how much we enjoy spending time with her. So I'm kind of getting in there real quick and being like, hey, let's go here. I hope that I put the emphasis on spending time with her rather than spending a lot of money. So I just kind of was ready with a suggestion as opposed to putting the emphasis on saving money, but I was ready with that suggestion. And I saved maybe $5 to $8 because we did end up spending kind of a lot on the takeout, or on the fast casual restaurant we went to, but it was totally worth it and it was good. Number 3. For 3 nights this week, I stayed happy at home. And this is kind of a loser thing because whatever. I try to be very, I would say judicious, discerning in how I spend my money when I go out. I try to, as much as I can, enjoy being at home. And that's probably one of the number 1 things I've heard people say is essential for saving money and staying within your budget, is just to be happy and content at home and not need anything else outside of you to make you happy. And this is just kind of in general. Contentment is key, but especially in this case for staying happy, I think that I saved about $10 a night. Some of the other things I would have done if I had gone out during the week. So I value friendship and I value connection. I try to stay connected with friends, even though I kind of feel I don't feel like I turn down invites, but I definitely focus on connecting with people in ways that don't cost money. So let's just call it that way. I stayed home 3 nights this week. And I saved about $10 a night. Number 4, I packed dinner on the one night that I did have an extra commitment. So in the past, it would be real easy for me to grab dinner from like a McDonald's or somewhere, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in this case, I knew it was something that I had coming up. So I serve on the board of a local symphony, and we had a board meeting right after work, and I figured it would be cheaper just to stay at work and then go straight to the meeting. It's just easier and cheaper. So, and I knew that was coming up. I saw it in my journal, and I was like, on my planner, let me plan for that. So I made an extra dinner and I just brought that with me. And I averaged that saved maybe $5 to $10 because I don't have an expensive McDonald's order. To be honest, I haven't eaten a lot of fast food, I would say, since last month. I've just tried to avoid it. And I know it's totally possible to eat healthy in fast food restaurants. I just haven't. I've tried to stay away from spending money like that in general, and I really think that although it's not a lot of money, I think that it's added up also in my mindset. So that's been a huge win, I would have to say. I would categorize that as a win for sure. Number 5, the 5th thing I did to save money this week, consider my future. And this is a big one. If you watched my previous video, it's kind of interesting. So in my previous video, I had reviewed a Filson Dryden briefcase tote, and I love that bag, but I decided for a number of reasons, probably the biggest being cost, I sent that on back. It was like, and it was a little bit manly for my style. It was kind of masculine, and a little bit more probably outwardly rugged than I wanted to project and the image I wanted to present. So I sent it back. And I figure if I still love the brand, that zipper, man, the sound of that zipper just, it was the best. I will link that video, because that's the only memory I have of that bag. I figure if I'm going to own a bag like that, I will just do as I had planned originally, to look on the secondhand market, check eBay, check around. They come up all the time. They are built like iron. Secondhand is fine. So I will just continue to scour the secondhand market for a bag like that. But I figured that my long-term financial goals meant more to me than having a bag like that brand new. So that saved me $186, including taxes. So I consider that a huge and valuable savings. I will take another bag to the conference next month. So that is the total, all the things I did this week to save money. And I'm feeling pretty good about those things because the total amount that I saved, and this is just for me, like underneath my variable expenses. So this is not compared to like anyone else. This is just me, how I normally live. I saved under my projected expenses $281. So I am considering that a pretty big win for this week for sure. $281. It's like I just got a gift of money in my pocket, which I wish I could transfer directly into cash, but we're getting there. So that is what I saved through my my thrifty and future considerations, considering my future over present gratification. So I give myself, let's say, a solid B+, A- on this week. I think it was really well done. So the one thing that I did do, that I did spend money on, this is again planned spending, one thing I did to kind of enhance my life. And it really, for me, I was like debating about this because I feel like it might kind of make me more of like a couch potato, but I got that gym membership and I do use that. I went this morning at 5:30 a.m. So the one thing that I did do was I bought myself a Hulu subscription for this month. It was $5.99, and I'm going to re-up every month. What I do is I cancel immediately. So beware about this. I have the subscription and then I wait 24 hours and then I cancel it immediately, and then it cancels after the 30 days, 31 days, whatever, of the subscription. So it doesn't automatically renew. I try to be really intentional about that, because I don't want just random subscriptions coming out. That's $5.99, but it's also $5.99. So I really try to be intentional about things that I do purchase that are fun. So I'm really enjoying watching the show Chance on Hulu with Hugh Laurie. And actually, this is so embarrassing, but the reason I love that show is because someone in a forum mentioned that Hugh Laurie's character, Dr. Chance, carries a Filson briefcase. And I was like, ooh, I want to see. So I couldn't find any like images of the briefcase. So I subscribed to Hulu so I could watch that show and see the briefcase. And every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, I like that bag. super embarrassing, but whatever. It makes me happy when I see that back because I don't own one, so I have to enjoy it somehow. And that's a great way that I find to enjoy it. I love watching it at the end of the day. To relax. I don't know if I'd recommend the show. It's kind of like a taut psychological thriller where everyone's got like an ulterior motive, or people aren't always telling the truth. So if that's your kind of thing, if you like that, if you like Hugh Laurie in House, he's a doctor, similar, I mean, ticks, but different ticks. He's not as authoritative. He's a little bit, his character's a little more unsure, uncertain. So if you like Hugh Laurie and you like House and psychological thrillers, I would recommend it. So that is my week in being frugal and considering my future. These little things I know will add up. It's like compound interest, man. I'm making it work. And it for sure kept me accountable to be thinking about filming this for you at the end of the week. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope, as always, that you will keep watching. Bye.